Anita shouted as she rushed her husband to the hospital. It rained heavily with thunder and lightning that night as the doctors surrounded Mr. John. He was rushed to the emergency room. His face was pale, his breath shallow. Anita, his wife, held his hand tightly, her face filled with worries and her eyes filled with tears. Desmond, Mr. John's best friend, followed closely behind with a look of concern on his face. Mr. John was rushed to an examination room immediately. The doctors were doing everything possible to revive him. Earlier that night, Mr. John came home and ate the pepper soup and white rice his wife made for dinner, bathed and retired to sleep. Around 1 a.m. that night, he started feeling unease in his stomach. He tried to endure it till morning, but it got worse. His wife called his best friend to meet them at the hospital while she rushed him to the hospital. Back in the hospital, the doctors were unable to stabilize him. Within an hour, Mr. John was pronounced dead. The news hit everyone hard. John? John had always been healthy and full of life. He was admired by colleagues and respected by friends. The news of his sudden departure under mysterious circumstances spread quickly, sending waves of grief and shock to his family. His family was devastated, struggling to make sense out of this tragedy. Years earlier, John had been a man deeply in love. He and Anita had met through mutual friends and at a friend's wedding. From the moment they laid eyes on each other, it was as if they were made to be together. John, a successful businessman, had worked tirelessly to build a comfortable life for himself and his family. He adored Anita and spared no effort to show her his love. Their wedding was a grand affair, and soon after, they settled into a beautiful home. But as the years passed, Anita's attitude began to change. Anita was a stay-at-home wife, trying to conceive. She grew restless and suspicious. John, on the other hand, was supportive and tried his best to let her know that they are in it together. John, with his demanding job, often came home late, exhausted from endless meetings and business dinners. His dedication to his work, which had once filled Anita with pride, now bred resentment. She began to wonder if he was seeing someone else. She started having the feeling that she will soon be replaced. "Are you really at work, John?" she would ask whenever John comes back late. John would look at her. "Of course. Where else can I be, Kwanu? You know how much this job demands of me. I am doing it for us. Please don't forget, Anita." But Anita's suspicions only deepened. In her mind, every late night and missed dinner was proof of his unfaithfulness. She started nagging him constantly, questioning his every move. Their once loving conversations turned into cold, bitter exchanges and an unsettling silence over their home. In the midst of this chaos, another issue emerged. John decided to bring his mother to live with them after Anita had rejected. John's mother was elderly and her health was deteriorating. John felt a deep sense of duty as her first child to take that responsibility against his wife's wish. Anita was not pleased. "John, we can't take care of her here. This is our home. I mean? We just got married. Can't we just enjoy our home alone? This place is not a nursing home. She will be better off there. Or one of her daughters should take up the responsibility, please. After all, you are not the only child. Someone else should do this one. You have done enough. Ah, babe, she's my mother. Your mother-in-law. Are you not supposed to take your mother-in-law as your own mother? You won't tell me how best to treat her, please. If you can't treat her as your mother, she is my mother. See, you better take her to a nursing home. Me, I will not say it again. She will get better care there. Nobody should carry their load and put on mine. I already have enough on my neck. Anita insisted. Their arguments grew by day. They grew more apart, living basically just as housemates. As Anita's resentment intensified, she felt overshadowed by John's loyalty to his family, which to her seemed more important than his loyalty to their marriage. When John refused to budge, Anita was left feeling trapped in a life she no longer wanted. It was during one of these tense moments that John confided in his friend Desmond. They had been friends since the university days, and they even served the same place. He was as well the best man at his wedding. John believed Desmond was someone he can confide in. The load was too much for him to bear alone. He has done everything for this marriage to work, and he can't watch and see his marriage crumble. He decided to share what his marriage looked like for the first time to a third party. See, Nwana, things have been rough at home. Anita and I, we are just not the same anymore. The spark is no more there. I don't know what has come over her. I have tried all I can to make her feel and see that she's in a safe space, but all my efforts are to no avail. She wouldn't listen. It was during one of these tense moments Desmond offered words of comfort. He appeared supportive and sincerely wanted to help in any way he could, so that his friend's young marriage won't crumble. Desmond began visiting more frequently in order to mediate the couple's issues. At first, they settled the mother-in-law's issues, and her daughter came and took her to her house. Sincerely, Desmond wanted to help, but at a point, he saw an opportunity in the situation. Under the guise of a concerned friend, he manipulated Anita's frustrations. He saw how vulnerable she was, and he started feeding her doubts and insecurities. This rather worsened things, and slowly, a twisted relationship began to form between them. Desmond would tell Anita, "You deserve better. John doesn't see how much of a beautiful woman you are. That's why he will have to stay late at work when he's supposed to come back and be with his lovely wife." All the lies Desmond fed Anita with made her anger grow wilder. She turned to Desmond for solace. She found in him a listening ear, a comforting presence that made her feel understood. And before long, their relationship started crossing boundaries, all in the name of finding solace. And then, from there, it turned into a full-fledged affair. Desmond, ever the manipulator, was living in the moment, enjoying every bit of it. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was planting seeds of distrust and division in a place he had wanted to repair, all while taking advantage of Anita's vulnerability. Thank you for staying with me to this moment. I appreciate. Thanks for watching. Please, I will ask if you have not subscribed, do well to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share to your loved ones, and I will see you in my next Thank you.